How's it going, guys? I wanted to make a second video similar to my first one regarding Blockfrost and the upcoming vote for the future of that organization and how it affects Cardano. I want to firstly say that all of my opinions are my own. They're not reflective of any kind of organization or think tank or department of any sorts. I am a direct voter in the ecosystem, and I'm also a Web 2.5 builder, and I have my own aspirations regarding that endeavor. And which is, it's part of the reason why the future of Blockfrost is so important to me. Um, this is not business advice. This is not investing advice. This is not anything other than entertainment and education for some. A lot of people in this space are very educated. And they know what they're talking about, and that's who I'm trying to speak to today. So, I think there's two sides of this little tug of war that's going on in the Cardano community. There's the ideological decentralization side, and there's the pragmatic decentralization side. Unfortunately for all of us, the ideological side is winning, and they're in charge of our governing body. One side is prioritizing purism and treasury preservation, which I completely understand. And the other side, in my opinion, is being more pragmatic and valuing commercial adoption for what I personally consider the realistic demands of the physical economy. Um, I think the Cardano governance body is refusing to understand middleware API infrastructure, and it's refusing to understand that that's what's going to connect us as a stepping stone into the real world of physical assets and adoption by the common populace and institutional use cases. I think that if you truly want a Web 3.0 decentralization, we're not going to get there by endlessly debating political theories of decentralization. You have to use your power of political adaptability and understand only the most useful aspects of that decentralization and when and what and where and how to use it if we want to get the future we've all imagined. And to do that, in order to do that, we need to prioritize Web 2.5 needs, which will eventually transform us into a Web 3.0 reality, in my opinion. Everything about our world is a slow and steady evolution, and only the strongest in adaptability survive. What we're doing right now is not that. We need to prioritize research, marketing, Web 2.5 endeavors that allow liquidity of the real world into our ADA world. So we need to stop fighting that so incredibly hard. It's a relatively easy thing to understand that we have to bridge ourselves into the world that is already transacting, into the world where trillions of dollars in liquidity already exist. We have to make that world a part of ours so that our dream, our goal of Web 3.0 can eventually become manifested into reality. I might be using that word a little too much, but you know, I'm trying to make this video to shine a spotlight on the Web 2.5 builders mostly, because I think a lot of us, including myself, in this space are being ignored, and our importance to the industry is becoming irrelevant in the endless debate. Um, I think that because Web 2.5 builders are being ignored, it creates a sort of amateurish and incredibly outlandishly irresponsible ecosystem that doesn't prioritize its need for survival. If we're arguing about ideological pursuits all day and not focused on our marketing, how people view us, we're not focused on bridge building, how we connect ourselves to the real world, and it's just it's not smart. It's not a good move. I'm trying to figure out my words here. I'm a little tired. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. I got another one coming up tomorrow. But yeah, I wanted to focus on Web 2.5 builders and that aspect of the whole thing. I want to talk about absolute decentralization, um, and how I believe it's a theoretical luxury and why a hybrid infrastructure is the far superior choice of the two. So there's a current bottleneck that's happening, and I think the problem is, like I've previously stated, purism versus utility. And the bottleneck is messing everything up. Retail DRep participants don't know exactly what they're doing, and I think it's because we haven't really worked out the kinks concerning governance structure yet. Um, I'm reminded of Voltaire's democracy propagates the idiocy of the masses, and I'm reminded that every day from a political standpoint in general. But that's not to say that um, I feel superior to DReps and as if I know what I'm talking about. And that's not to say as an insult when I mention that quote, but I say that as a wake-up call, as a mirror in front of our delegating faces. Decentralizing governance is something that I fundamentally agree with at my core, but obviously something is wrong if it's leading to the sunset of Cardano's leadership, its use case and lack thereof, and its adaptability in the space. If enterprise grade infrastructure is often viewed as a threat to decentralization, I think that's wrong because nobody's asking to rip out the heart of Cardano and insert Google's CEO into it. We're asking for a bridge to eventually make Web 3.0 a reality. And blockchains are great, they're secure, they're decentralized, but they're deterministically slow. And Cardano smart contract isn't Visa. So if I ask a future customer of mine to interact with it, they'll laugh in my face and they'll leave. So how am I supposed to build out Cardano and make this the dream of our ecosystem come true? Um, Ideology says run your own full node and keep track of your keys. That's cool for me, not for my clientele and the entire planet that needs customary transactional inputs and outputs. You can't do that. It's not realistic. So, if you think it is realistic and you have a large say, you will be our doom, in my opinion, because you're starving the network out of an infantile fear of centralization. We're not Ethereum, we're not Solana, we're good in that respect. We've been good in that respect. Decentralization is our forte, it's our strength. Where we're past the fear of being centralized, in my opinion. Is it is it a possible is there a possible situation where that's exploited? Sure, it's extremely minimal, but sure. All that to say, all that to say, being Web 2.5 is the solution. It's a non-negotiable. And the needs of researchers, marketing, and the needs of our builders using our network should be our absolute priorities right now. We need the masses, we need the institutions, we need the railways that connect us commercially. Then the dream comes true. Our dream of Web 3.0 comes true. I'm speaking to my ideological purists here from a pragmatic perspective. How are you going to talk about building interconnected railways across the country, increasing commercialization, just to leave it as a conversation forever and dream about something that never comes true? If the governing body continues to withhold support from the off chain APIs and the Web 2.5 builders laying down these commercial railways, institutional adoption will forever be a pipe dream and they will simply not come true. I have some of this stuff written down as notes. Um, I think it's easier to express my thoughts onto paper and explain it to you guys through video. So if I sound a little rigid in my speaking at times, that's because I'm looking at my notes. Um, I think the governance community needs to get its head out of the clouds and start representing what's best for progress. That includes that includes the Blockfrost vote by July 28th. That includes funding research and marketing and standing by builders like myself. Um, as someone who's an aspiring Web 2.5 builder, I'm at this precipice of succeeding because of everything that's been built so far. And to take that away by not continuing to fund what's important would mean destroying any hope this industry ever had. Cardano is that hope. And how ironic would it be if it were killed by those governing it? The tech is ready. I'm trying to build with it. And the only thing threatening to kill Cardano's future is the people governing it. I have my solutions. I'm doing my part in the ecosystem to build and make something better and greater than anything we can ever imagine already. If Blockfrost gets killed, I'm fucking done. My company is done, or whatever I can make from it is gone. Um, I need, in my opinion, and in many others' opinion, um, we need the governing body to get it together, focus on what's important, marketing, research, Web 2.5 builders, marketing, research, Web 2.5 builders. Please, for the love of God, please, we need to prioritize those things. We need to get we need to get institutional onboarding. We need to get better um, better marketing, and we need to become part of the mainstream, not the main, excuse me, we need to become part of the Main Street zeitgeist. We need to become part of the Main Street underbelly that is the real economy, that is the real world. Solana, Ethereum can have their paper monopoly money BS all day. Cardano can have the real Main Street underbelly that is America, that is the world, that is the construction industry, that is the everyday person. We can be part of their lives, even if they don't realize it through Web 2.5. We just need the governing body to vote in the right direction to make that happen. Thank you.